Medina.
So your last name?
Medina.
Perfect. Debra, D-E-B-R-A. Right. Okay, Debra. Now tell us your title.
I'm a grassroots activist, former candidate for governor of the state of Texas.
Perfect. Now, Debra, just tell us what's so important. Which people really know about these Tea Party rallies and why it's important today?
Well, we've had a first legislative action day for We Texans here at the Capitol today, where we've encouraged individuals to come to the Senate committee hearings on health and human services. I think the Tea Parties have been rallying for a year now against the federal intervention into health care. We've encouraged people to come, and then this is kind of the culmination of our day as we're celebrating the one-year birthday of the Tea Party movement. This is the second Tea Party rally here on the south steps of the Capitol this evening. The weather's given us a little bit of a difficult time, but people continue to express their desire to see a return to the Constitution, to a limited government, one that protects and preserves freedom and prosperity, and it is a voice that and work that we need to continue to do.
Okay, and again, I know this has been a year, so just so I understand exactly why did the Tea Parties get started?
I think people are realizing, we've heard a lot of rumbling in the political arena for a number of years that government is getting too big, and it is the aggressiveness of that growth coming out of Washington, D.C. over the course of the last couple of years that has caused people to really rally together at the State House, on the courthouse steps, in congressional offices, and the offices of their elected officials to say, no, we really as a people believe in the U.S. Constitution. We understand it's the best blueprint ever laid for a free and prosperous society, yet in large part it's being ignored, and we expect you, when we elect you to lead our country, to follow that document.
And exactly, I mean, is this about tax? It's about high taxes, obviously.
Well, it's about the overstepping of the federal government. Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution defines very clearly the things that the federal government ought to do. You've seen, kind of coupled with the Tea Party movement, that call for a return to the Constitution, as well as you've heard a lot about the 10th Amendment, the recognition that everything outside of Article 1, Section 8 ought to be left to the states, and it ought to be up to the people in the states to decide on those issues. And it's a means of both educating ourselves and also holding accountable our elected officials to abide by those tenets.
So healthcare and the stimulus package are kind of two big examples.
Big examples.
You know, what do you think of people like this shouting right now, disrupting the movement, or is this part of the movement?
I'm not sure what that is over there, but certainly you've got to appreciate, I think, in a society that truly believes in individual freedom, that people have the right to exercise that in whatever way they choose, provided they don't infringe on the rights of others. And I think one of the things that we've seen in this movement is a great recognition of that, or a new recognition of that perhaps, where people are willing to allow their fellow citizens a voice for the passion. We've seen a lot of passion over the course of the last year, people very serious about restoring freedom and prosperity in our country.
But of course it's concerns of negative disruptors, because I don't know whether
there's always detractors, and there's always going to be folks who would try to say, no, just sit down and be quiet. I think one of our founders really articulated it well when he said, may your chains, for those of you who say, just leave it alone and we can tolerate the abuse, for those of you who believe that way, I hope the shackles of slavery will rest lightly upon you, and that our posterity will forget you were ever our brethren. We must stand strong, and sometimes that means showing some passion and some emotion. We want to applaud that and allow people to express their concern in whatever means they choose, again, provided that they don't infringe upon the rights of other individuals.
Thank you.